So to be an entrepreneur, a business owner, a consultant, a teacher, but also a mom and a wife, it does require some sort of organization and habits to be in place. So in today's video, I'm sharing with you my 7 habits that help me supercharge my productivity. Before we get started, did you know that I have an inspirational audio for you? It's called You Are a Miracle. It will help you think about your plans, think about your dreams, and make them actually happen. So make sure to download the audio. You'll find the link in the description box below. Also, make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, and hit the bell button to be notified for future videos. So the first habit that I have that you may already be aware of because you heard it many times, I talk about it all the time, but it's truly something that I do, and that is planning. So the way I plan is that I have a theme for each quarter of the year. So for each quarter, I will have like the main theme of the 3 months. And under these quarter goals, I have the monthly goals. And under the monthly goals, I have the weekly goals. And under the weekly goals, I have the daily goals. So the way it works is that my main theme will be the umbrella for all the sub goals that I have for that particular period. I don't actually plan things like from 9:30 to 10:15 I'll be doing this particular things, because I don't have like visibility for those kind of things, and I'm not like super organized in that sense. But I think about the strategy and the vision in advance. Like, what is it that I'm trying to achieve? What is it that I want to make happen in that month, in that week, in that day? So rather than doing stuff, I would actually sit down, think about the strategy before I start moving and go into places. So this is a real key habit that I have. Like, I do it at the beginning of each quarter and at the beginning of each month and week. I don't do it on a daily basis because my week schedule would actually determine what I have to do on a daily basis. But it's that intention, it's that habit of sitting down and planning things that make actually a huge difference in my productivity. So the second one is to prioritize and focus. Yes, I don't actually try to do everything, because in my mind, not everything is equally important. I need to make sure that I'm spending my time on the most important things that only me can actually do. And it's important to sit down and make it a habit of yours of thinking, is this important? Is this urgent? Can you do this another day? Does it really have to be done today? Or can it be done by somebody else? It doesn't just happen that way. You start developing this habit as you do it. The more you do it, the more comfortable you get with it. The second part of this habit is actually focus, not having your attention scattered around. Like, if you want, for example, to start making YouTube videos, then that would be just your only main thing for a specific period of time. If you want to launch a business, it's too broad. Like, it has to be one particular area of building a business that you're going to be focusing on. The worst thing to do is to try to do everything and to want to do everything, because at the end of the day, you're not going to achieve very much. The third habit that I actually do religiously is to divide my time between work, family, and me and my hobbies. I used to actually be a workaholic, but that's particularly when it comes to like starting a business or building a new business or creating a new project. That I completely understand, that I tend to work more than anything else. That's completely understandable. But on a regular basis, it's really, really important for me and fundamental to have these 3 things in my life: work, family time, and me time. And work, obviously, this is what I am paid for, this is what my clients pay me for. This is where I earn my living. This is where I need to deliver professionally. When it comes to family, family is really important because that gives me the balance. Like, I need to have that balance, that I'm present for my kids, for my husband, and be there in my house. I don't feel I'm successful when I'm hustling all day outside of my house and coming home and finding them asleep. That's not real success to me. And obviously no judging, because everyone's definition of success is different, but to me that's not success. Success to me is really being able to manage my professional life as well as my personal life. So once work and clients are being taken care of and my family is being taken care of, then who's left? It's me. And it took me a while to actually develop this habit of thinking about me. Like, where do I fit in the schedule? Like, where am I? I'm taking care of everybody else but not me. But now it's really a habit. Like, I need to spend some time with myself. Like, I don't mind going to a coffee shop and grabbing coffee and being alone. That's my me time. Or I could be like going for a walk in a park, or just meeting up with friends, or going shopping, or even going to, I don't know, a show. It doesn't really matter, but that's my me time. Going for a massage or a hairdresser is something that I actually do to nurture myself. Additionally to those self-care moments, I also have time for my hobbies, and YouTube actually is one of my hobbies. I love making videos. I don't make any money out of them, but I just love making videos, sharing with you guys, and being active with you on social media. That's my hobby. That's like something I love doing, and my family completely understand that. The next habit that I developed recently, and I'm very glad that I have, is to keep my computer and phone use to the minimum. You know how we've become this society so dependent on technology? Well, what I'm trying to do now, I'm trying to unlearn that. Well, I think I've succeeded at doing that, to be honest. Meaning I don't reach out to my phone for every single thing that I need to do in my life. Like, I have my agenda on paper, and that helps me have just keep on going without my phone. I have actually uninstalled all my social media except for Instagram, because for some reason on Instagram you need to go through third-party accounts and it's a bit of a mess, but I will have to do it at some point. But basically, when I respond to you guys on social media, whether that's Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn, I actually go to my computer. And that way I know I have a limited time. Like, when I'm on my computer, that means I am on a work mode, and I don't want to spend too much time on social media when I'm on the work mode. So I just quickly read the comments and just comment back. And that's pretty much a huge time saver. So I'm focusing my attention more on the important things, and just keeping the computer just for work makes it super productive for me. Even like if I have to do some shopping, then I would plan a slot for shopping, so I know that I'm actually just getting on my computer to do that grocery shopping or any type of shopping. So keeping the phone and the computer to the minimum also pushed me to go to the library to seek out for books rather than watching a video or buying an audiobook. Sometimes you really have to, not sometimes, most of the time, you really have to leave your computer and phone to start really experiencing life to the fullest. Because right now we're so soaked into technology that we miss out on so many things. And that was actually the original idea, that I wanted to start living the real life. But at the end of the day, I realized that with this habit, I'm actually being more productive. Just putting your phone and computer away makes you super productive. Now, obviously, I can't separate myself very much from the phone and the computer, because that's my work, that's where my clients reach me. Most of them, they just send email, but I'm not like right there waiting for their email and then just waiting to respond back. It's okay if I answer in an hour or two, or even a day later. It's okay. If it's really urgent, they would call me. If they would call me, I would hear it. Then you see what I mean? Like, you need to reorganize and relearn to use technology. The next habits that I have is that at the end of each quarter, month, and week, I actually evaluate my actions and really track my progress. Because what's the point of doing things if you're not making progress? And progress is actually what keeps you going and push you to actually achieve more. So this is an important habit that I have. It's not just about setting up goals. It's also about reassessing yourself, or assessing your actions, and see where things went right, why they went right, and why they went wrong, and where they went wrong, and really learn from your own mistakes. So I like to actually write everything on a notebook, so I can actually go back to like 2016 or 2014. I have like many notebooks that tracks actually my progress. And it's really nice to go back to your books and notebooks and see how far you have come. My next habit is to eat healthy food and have a healthy lifestyle. It does take a little bit of work and planning, because most of the time for me, I make my meals pretty much from scratch, because I don't like too much processed food and fast food and deliveries, etc. I try to keep them really to the minimum. These are for the days where I'm like super tired, I can't do anything. That's, you know, when I reach out to processed food. But I try again to keep that to the minimum. And that helps me supercharge my productivity, because I'm feeding myself the right food and the right drinks, mainly water, because this is how you nourish your body. You need to give your body and mind the right element, the right ingredient. There were some points in my life where I would eat too much bread, and particularly in Morocco, like you would eat semen, you know, pancakes, Moroccan pancakes all the time, and you feel like, oh, that's not really good for your body, man. It's like creating a ball in your stomach. You feel heavy. So it's really important to give yourself the right nutrient that will help you fuel your body and keep it to the optimum, because that's what we want. We want to be at the optimum of our health and physical abilities, to remember things better, to be more productive, to actually be very active in what you do. So it's important to think about what you put in your body. So these are actually the habits that I see myself do on a regular basis, so pretty much on a daily basis. But I told myself, maybe I should ask somebody who actually knows me well, somebody who actually observes what I do and see what I actually implement on a daily basis, and who would be better to answer that question than my husband. So I asked my husband, what do you think are my habits that actually keep me very productive at home and at work? And he sent me an email back with a long list of things, and I was like, these are not habits. So he responded back, rewriting the same thing and making them sound like habits. And this is what he's got to say, and this is like my bonus tip. So he said, I am used to having and respecting a plan. So this is exactly what I told you in habit number 1, is having a plan. And he's made a good point, which is respecting the plan. So it's good to make plans, but you still have to actually implement them. And it's true that when I make a plan, I do everything that I can to implement those plans. Now, obviously, sometimes there are outside events that I can't control, but if there's anything I can control, then I definitely just do it. He said another thing, which is you always have the habit to finish what you have started on that day, and you don't postpone things. This is another one that I didn't think about, and obviously I like to finish stuff. I don't like to drag stuff to the next day or next week or next month. I mean, I'm not a very big procrastinator. Maybe all of us are to some extent, but generally I like to finish the job and move on to something else. He also said you have the habit of setting objectives to attain, and that's exactly what I told you before. You need to have a vision and then a strategy and then think about the goals. So having objectives help me really make sure that I'm going into the direction that I want to go. And the last one, which I didn't think of and he did, which is quite good, is you have the habit of distributing and delegating tasks. And this is really important because at some point in my life I used to try and think I could do everything, but when you want to do everything, you actually don't scale, you don't grow, you just stay on the same level. Now I know I can do those things, but I don't want to do them anymore. I want to delegate them, whether that's at home or at work. There are things that I can delegate, I can pay people to do, and I'd rather use my time doing something else, something that only me can do. For example, I can't delegate parenting. Parenting is something that only me can do, me and the father, obviously. But I can't delegate it. I can't pay somebody to tell him or her, please be a mom for me. So it's important for me to be available at those hours where I'm needed. And when it comes to cleaning, no, that's not necessary for me to be there for the cleaning of the house. I can pay somebody to do it for me that can use that time to do something else. Same thing applies at work. There are tasks that only me can do and other tasks that my team or people that I can hire on a freelance basis can do for me. But when it comes to the strategy, the vision, the running a day-to-day business, that's only me who can do it. Alright guys, I hope this video was helpful. Let me know down below what is the #1 habit that make 80% of your results today, the Pareto rule. Let me know down below. I'd love to have a conversation with you. Also, please consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. Let's stay in touch on social media and I'll see you very soon. Bye!